Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Pope Simon X, and we're here to talk about my life because that's what we do here. So I just want to acknowledge everybody who is struggling right now. It's a lot. There is a lot going on, and I feel that. Like there's a lot of the political landscape and the things that are happening that impact me personally as a trans person and also as just somebody who believes in empathy. So I get why we're struggling. And I just want to honor everybody who's struggling right now because there's a lot that's happening and it is negatively impacting people's lives in a very real way. Like, for example, my girlfriend's on Medicaid right now and they're looking at cutting Medicaid. If that does go through, we're going to have to spend even more money that we are trying to save right now to get ahead on just paying for health insurance. She can't work right now because of health reasons, and we're trying to get ahead of them. Having the social support network of Medicaid while she deals with her health things is what's going to be allowing her to work in the future, right? If we don't have health insurance to take care of her health concerns now, then it's going to be even longer before she can work. And that's just a reality for a lot of people. There's a lot of us who use these social support networks as cushions while we go through hard times, and then we don't need them long term. And that's the goal, is to not need them long term, but we do need them now. So we're watching things and we're nervous. Another thing we're nervous about is there are states that are trying to ban trans care for adults. And it's bad enough that they're banning it for children who need puberty blockers. Like, I'm not talking about even testosterone and estrogen and gender affirming surgeries and all of those things. I'm talking about puberty blockers, which allow them to be able to grow up and be themselves. Puberty blockers are safe. They're effective. They're used on cis children all the time. As long as you monitor your vitamins and your nutrients, which you should do if you're going to a doctor anyway, you're good and you're safe on these puberty blockers, and we're banning them. We're banning lifelines for these children. And it's bad enough that we're doing that. Now we're looking at banning care for adults who have the capability of making decisions on their own, who should be allowed to make their own healthcare decisions on their own. And it really worries me what's coming down the pipeline. I'm worried about even bigger things happening too. So if you're feeling nervous and anxious about everything that is going on, I just want you to know that you're not alone. There's a lot that's going on. Even if you're not trans, this is a very scary time for a lot of us, and I understand and I see you and I value you. If you're not in the US and you're celebrating in the negativity, I get it. Do what you need to do for your country, but like, know that there's a lot of us who are really hurting. Trump did not win by an overwhelming majority. He barely squeaked by. He barely won. That means that there's like 50% of this country that does not want him in charge. There's like 50% of this country that would do anything to get him out of control. But there's nothing we can do about it because that's the rule of law, right? Like, he won the Electoral College, and that is how our country functions. If it survives. I don't know. All the executive orders scare me. It looks a lot like what Hitler did, and it scares me. I am very nervous about the future. And it's really weird to be so nervous about the future while at the same time being so happy with myself. Every other time it's been opposite, right? Like, I used to be very optimistic about the future and very miserable in my own skin. But the last 4 years of being myself has been monumental. It's been monumental to get to be Simon. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, well, I would if it would literally save the world. That's a whole different thing. But like, that's not what's happening here. I love that I get to be me. I love that I get to be me. I go to work every single day. I get valued as Simon. I'm respected as Simon, and it is beautiful. And I absolutely love my life, and I'm scared to death at the same time. And I don't know how to reconcile those. I don't know how to make those match. Because for the first time, I am me in a way that I never got to be me before. And I love myself in a way that I never loved myself before. I'm so happy. Like, I like looking at myself in the mirror. I like seeing myself. I like who I am as a person. I value who I am. I value who I've become. I honor my journey. And it is beautiful to have seen this journey happen from the inside. But I'm scared to death. I'm terrified every single day. And I don't know how to make those two things match. Like, I wish that I got to be me earlier. I wish I got more time as Simon without having my Simonness being challenged every single day. Utah hasn't made any new anti-trans laws, but they tried to. Like, they got proposed in legislature. Thankfully, they didn't pass. And I don't think they didn't pass because the Utah legislature is kind and caring and supportive. I just think that they had other things that they focused on more, which means next session it's going to come up again, right? Like, legally in Utah, the biggest anti-trans bill beyond banning minor care is that I am legally supposed to use the women's restroom in every government building. And my girlfriend's legally supposed to use the men's restroom. And, like, if we pass like I do, nobody will ever know. But my girlfriend doesn't pass. This matters. Like, it sucks. But thankfully it's only in government buildings, and we don't spend a whole lot of time in government buildings. So we just use our restrooms as we feel like we need to. But, like, my biggest fear is that I will obey the law and get physically punished for it. Trans men have been beaten up for using the women's restroom, even though it's what they were supposed to do according to whatever rule or law. They've been beaten up. And that's my fear, is that I'm going to be physically punished for obeying the law. So it's safer for me to not obey the law. And that's just messed up. That's messed up that that's my reality. But overall, outside of the political hellscape landslide bullshit that's going on, my life is actually going pretty good. I have a source of income. I have two sources of income, actually, but I have a job. I work at a massage school, and I really enjoy my job. And then I work as a massage therapist part-time. I really enjoy both of those careers. I am enjoying my life. I love where I live. I love living, not necessarily, well, Utah. Yeah. I'm from Utah. Utah is home. And it has been a weird ride coming home as a trans man. But it is home. This is home to me. So I love the mountains, and I love the weather, even when it's cold. Like, this feels right to me in a way that it hasn't felt right in a really long time. So I enjoy being in Utah. May not stay here long term depending on the political climate, but I enjoy being in Utah, and I enjoy being me. Like, for the first time in my life, it feels like I've checked all the boxes. I'm doing all the right things. And it sucks that that's not enough. That the political climate is what it is. It really sucks. So if you're like me and you're struggling while you're somehow thriving, I get it. And if you're not thriving, that's fine too. Like I get that too. I wasn't thriving not that long ago. So I get it. I just have finally gotten my life in order. Thankfully, the Utah legislature didn't pass any laws that make my life more difficult. I'm worried about the federal stage, mostly executive orders. I'm less worried about the legislative session. I should be worried about both. I am worried about both. But I'm really worried about some of these executive orders that are being passed and how they're going to impact me. So we'll see what happens. But I'm scared and cautiously fighting for every bit of optimism that I can. That's That's just life, right? So anyway, if you guys have things that you want videos on, leave it in the comments. I'll try to make these videos more often. Zoe has agreed to help support me in making these videos, so they should happen more frequently, just because my biggest struggle with making these videos outside of my mood is I struggle to edit them, and that's where Zoe has agreed to step in and help out. So I should be making these videos more often. Let me know if there's things that you're interested in. I don't read every single comment. I apologize about that, but there's too much hate in my comments. I can only handle them in small batches, but I'll try to read through the comments of this video to see if there's things that you guys want me to talk about. Obviously, this is mostly a vlog, and I mostly just talk about my life, but if there's things about my life that are interesting and you want me to talk more about, like, how did I know I was trans? What are things like that? You know, like, what are things that have helped me in my journey, or whatever it is that you want videos on, let me know. I'll try to cater some of these videos a little bit more to what I think that you guys are interested in. So yeah, just send me a comment and I'll try to read the comments on this video. And if you're one of the people who's been here from the very beginning, thank you for sticking around for the ride, and I'll see you later. Peace out.